Hey everybody, this is Mr. Vale's math class, and today we're going to talk about taking half of odd numbers. Alright, the first thing we'll need to know is what half of something is. So what half is when we split one thing into two parts that are the same. So if I split 8 in half, half of 8 will be 4, because if I put two 4s together, or do 4 plus 4, it'll become 8. Same thing like half of 16, that'll be 8, because 8 plus 8 is 16. So for this lesson, it's expected that you know half of even numbers up to 24, because that is going to be used in order to take half of these odd numbers. So the first number I would like to take half of is 7. In order to take half of 7, I like to think about it, instead of the number 7, I like to think about it as 7 things. And for this example, we'll use 7 cookies. So when I draw the 7 things out, what I do is I draw 6 of them here, and I leave 1 off to the side. So now when we split these 6 up between the two of us, you would get 3, and I would get 3. So we're splitting those 6 cookies in half. But there's this one over here, so what should we do with that? Well, actually what we can do is we can actually split it right in half, so that you get half of it and I get half of it. So half of 7 will be 3 and a half. Now, how we write a half is we write it like this. We write it as 1 over 2, or 1/2. And what this means is we're splitting one thing into two equal pieces. So half of 7 we end up writing as 3 and a half. And this is said like this. So now, if I want to take half of a larger odd number, let's take half of 17, how I like to deal with this is instead of having to draw out 17 things, we'll actually break 17 up into the even number that is 1 less than 17, so the number 1 less than 17 is 16, and 1. Now half of 16 is 8, because 8 plus 8 is 16, or we also talked about it earlier, and half of 1 is 1/2. This is kind of a definition, but it's kind of like if we have one circle and we split it in half, and let's say this circle is worth one thing, then each of those parts will be worth 1/2. Because when we split one thing into two equal pieces, the value of each part is 1/2. So when we take half of 1, it is 1/2. So now when we put 8 and 1/2 together, we actually write it like this, 8 and a half, because we cannot combine the 8 and a half, so we just say it as 8 and a half. So half of 17 is 8 and a half. So in order to take half of odd numbers, we actually use our knowledge of half of even numbers, and then work up from there to be well, if I want to take half of 9, well, I know half of 8 is 4, so half of 9 will be 4 and a half, because 9 is 1 more than 8. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope that helped, and if you want to check out some other taking half videos, you can check them out right up there.
In Mr. Vale's class. Very nice.